Here's my Revert story. Okay, we're gonna do a timeline. I'm gonna start from like the really starting, like all the way at the beginning, and then we're gonna move up slowly until this year. Okay, starting of 2020, right? I was Catholic. I was really religious. Believe me, I was really religious. I was doing the rosary more than once a day. I was fasting for 40 days for Lent. I was really religious in the entire of 2020. But you see, before 2020, I came from a primary school that had little to no interactions with people from other races and other religions. So I was not exposed to Islam. In 2020, when I first came to secondary school, I was shocked at the amount of people who actually practiced Islam. I made a few friends who were Muslim, and they were really good friends, okay? I loved their character. That was the first thing that I noticed about Islam. How it makes someone so likable. How it makes someone so how it makes you enjoy hanging out with that person. And that was the first thing I noticed about Islam. So in 2020, it was during the circuit breaker, cause COVID just started, and I tried fasting for Ramadan in 2020.
I didn't make it.
Fast forward to 2021, I tried converting one of my friends because I didn't want them to burn in hell. So I would just talk to him about religion. I would share with him Christianity. I would tell him the beauty of Christianity, and in return he would tell me what they learn in Islam. And it was like a two-way thing. Like, you wouldn't expect that out of 14-year-olds, but we did that. It was a two-way thing. And I learned a lot about Islam. I tried converting him, so I went to research about Islam on my own to try and prove his points wrong. But the more I researched into Islam, the more I fell in love with it. I went for one Jum'ah prayer, Friday prayer. I went for one Friday prayer with this friend. And when you hear the adhan being called for the first time in your life, you feel like a newborn baby. Wallahi al-azim, you feel so amazed. Like, you can't describe the feeling when you step into the mosque and then you hear the guy calling the adhan out. Keep in mind that I had no exposure to Islam when I was little, so I didn't know anything. I didn't know that Islam was such a peaceful religion. Right? At most, in primary school, I just heard about the ISIS attacks and the 9/11 bombings. And that left me a really bad impression on the religion. And when I first went for that Jumu'ah prayer, I was shocked. I was like, wow, this is different from what I have seen online. So I was like so amazed. And then I went to research more. I live in Singapore, so there is a society called MCAS, Muslim Converts Association of Singapore, which you can visit to learn more about Islam and finally take your shahada at the end of the day when you make that decision to become a Muslim, which is what I did. So I first went into MCAS, and then they were like, you are underage and we don't want you to make decisions that you will regret for your life. We don't want you to permanently become a Muslim and regret that in the future. So we're gonna give you more books and you're gonna read through them and then you make your decision. So they gave me books on how to pray, what Islam is about, and different things. This was the start of Ramadan 2021. They gave me fasting guides, what I should eat, what I should not eat, what I should do. So I started to research more and more. And remember that I wanted to prove my friend wrong? I ended up proving myself wrong. And I ended up taking the shahada and becoming Muslim. Hi, Editing Ryan here. I wanted to add on something. In 2021, I saw on YouTube this guy, Firdaus Chia. He is a Singaporean Chinese Muslim convert, and he says he did this experiment, and I wanted to try it for myself. He took a Quran and a Bible. He did a prayer to God. He flipped open, and then he see which one has like the best message to him. So I tried the same thing. But at that time I didn't have Quran. So I brought my Bible. I told my friend to bring his Quran. And then we went to like this staircase behind the class. Like it was like a really secretive thing. We went to the staircase behind the class. And then I was like, I did a prayer, something along the lines of like, oh God, if Christianity is real, can you please show me some proof and evidence in the Bible and like correct some wrongs that I have done. So I flipped open the Bible 3 times because I did the first time and it was about pomegranates and I wanted to like show my friend that Christianity was the truth. So I was like, okay, best out of 3 times, see which one has like the most messages. So I flipped 3 times. All 3 of them, none of them were related to each other. None of the verses I saw were related. And I was like, okay, the Bible didn't really give me a good sign. Then I was like, oh, I'm sure the Quran won't give me like an even better sign. So I took my friend's Quran and I was like, oh God, if you're real, just like show me a sign that I did something wrong and try and correct me. Every single time I flipped the Quran open, it was talking about hypocrites. And I was a hypocrite at the time. I was like a really big hypocrite. I would tell my Muslim friends, hey, isn't it time for you to pray? Go and pray. But like, as a Christian, I didn't have specific prayer times. So I was like telling them, hey, go and pray. Is your prayer time ready? So I think that was really hypocritical of me. And the Quran reminded me of that because every single time I flipped, it was about being a hypocrite and how being a hypocrite is bad and the fate of hypocrites. And I was shocked. I was like, يعني صدمت. I was like, how did they know? What was happening? Living in a simulation. Okay, now we move on to 2022, which was just last year. I was sleeping and I had a dream. I forgot if it was after or before Ramadan. But I had a dream, and it was a scary dream. It was two mountains, and there was a really, really thin line going in between those mountains. And I was walking on that line. I didn't know what it was. I was walking, and there was like fire below me, and the fire was trying to grab onto me, and I was trying to balance as I walked my way across. Then I made it across, but I turned my head and I see some people falling into the fire. And it was a really scary dream. I didn't know what it was. So I went to Google because
Google is reliable.
So I Googled and that apparently is the Sirat. Sirat is described as thinner than a hair and sharper than a knife. I went to confirm with my friend because I was not sure if Google was right. Because I read on Google that was a Sirat. But I was like, oh, this is a Muslim dream? So I went to confirm with my friend and he was like, yeah, that will happen on Yawm al-Qiyamah. And I was like, huh. I was so shocked. I was like, is this a sign? Is this a sign? Am I getting sent a sign? Am I special? Am I getting sent a sign that I should take my shahada? So I took the shahada. And then I had to learn how to pray. And all of this, it sounds really simple, honestly, right? Like I can squeeze it in this like short little video. It sounds really simple, but I can assure you it's not. My pillow has felt so many tears that if you manage to get my pillow to talk, my pillow will be flooded with like tears in it. I was crying so much. There's this thing where reverts try and talk their parents into accepting them as Muslims. And that is the hard part because every revert has to experience that. And I sincerely make dua that this is easy for every single revert because this is a process that I do not want to happen again in my lifetime. I asked my mom, like, I had to sit my mom down at least 5 times and talk to her about the different aspects of Islam that are beautiful and describe to her why Islam is going to be important in my life. In fact, I have not told my dad yet because I'm closer to my mom. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الجنة تحت أقدام الأمهات. Heaven is below your mother's feet.
Tapi tahukah syurga di bawah tapak kaki ibu?
So, yeah, I guess it makes sense when I talk to my mom instead of my dad. So I talked to my mom about Islam, and she said no so many times. She was like, no, I don't want you to get into a religion. I want you to focus on your studies. And I feel like those are valid concerns from someone who's not religious. But I was trying to get her to see the benefits of Islam. And this is a tip for all the reverts out there who are trying to revert to Islam. Don't just tell your parents you want to be Muslim. Show them that Islam helps you. Show them that Islam helps you control your temper. Show them that Islam pulled you out of your depression. Show them how Islam has benefited you in every way possible.
My beloved brothers and sisters, as Muslims, we are taught to show the best character and conduct to everyone, Muslims and non-Muslims alike. Good manners, kindness, and honesty are part of our faith, and they reflect the beauty of Islam more than words ever can. When non-Muslims see your patience, generosity, and respect, they begin to understand that Islam is a religion of peace and goodness. Your behavior can be the strongest form of dawah even without speaking. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was known for his perfect character and gentle dealings with all people. He never responded to harshness with anger, but with mercy and wisdom. Because of his manners, many people accepted Islam just by watching how he lived and treated others. Following his example means smiling, speaking kindly, helping others, and being fair and honest in all matters, whether at work, in business, or daily life. Sometimes people misunderstand Islam because they have never met a true Muslim who lives by its values. That's why it's important for us to represent Islam through our actions. When you show compassion, forgive others, and treat them with justice, they will see the light of Islam in you. A small act of kindness or sincere word can touch someone's heart and make them curious to learn more about Allah and His message. So always strive to be a reflection of the Prophet's character. Be honest, humble, and kind. When the world sees that Muslims stand for truth, love, and mercy, they will be drawn to the beauty of Islam. Remember, sometimes your good manners can be the reason someone says La ilaha illallah one day.